bring in Tehseen Poonawalla as well. You're watching everything from the sidelines, Tehseen Poonawalla. Is this about political vendetta? Is this just about a power tussle happening, not just in the national capital, but like the Aam Aadmi Party saying that netas being hounded across the country?
Namaskar, Swati. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Namaskar to all my fellow panelists and to all your viewers. Let's divide this into two issues. One, the Singapore issue, which I completely am in agreement with my friend Ishkaran Bhandari, that if an elected chief minister wants to go, even if he wants to downgrade himself to that of a mayor, that's fine. He's elected. He's been elected by the people of Delhi, and he has an absolute right to go. And honestly, if Mr. Kejriwal is being stopped, it looks bad on the BJP government, it looks bad on the bureaucracy, and he has an option to go to court. So I think that is a non-issue about it, and I don't think people who are elected should be stopped. That's one part about it. Now let's come to the more pertinent issue, which is the excise policy. Look, somebody who understands how government functions, there are 2 or 3 things. This is a report not made by a political party. It's not made by the Congress or the BJP. It's made by the Chief Secretary. Who's Chief Secretary? Mr. Kejriwal's government's Chief Secretary. Now, even if there's a cabinet nod, even if a decision has been taken, anybody who understands how government functions, that has to go to the Chief Secretary. In this particular case, the Excise Secretary and the Finance Secretary for a nod for 2 cases. One is for the waiver of the license fee or the reduction of the license fee. Second, for the refund of the 30 crore rupees. Both of this have to go to these 3 departments. Now, if Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Sisodia have done no wrong, which I absolutely believe Mr. Sisodia is innocent until proven guilty, the remarks of those bureaucrats will have to be there. How is it possible that the Chief Secretary, who's recommending to the LG that there must be a CBI inquiry, would not have put recommendations on the same file, because the file has to go through him, again, the Excise Secretary and the Finance Secretary. So we'll come to know that any procedural lapse will be looked at by the CBI. Was this procedural lapse intentional, or was this procedural lapse for a betterment of government, can come to know? So it's not, so that they should not be afraid of. To the larger issue that Mr. Kejriwal is raising about vindictive politics, here's what I want to say. Mr. Kejriwal has an option even now to go to court, present his case, take Mr. Sisodia, get an anticipatory bail from Mr. Sisodia. You have Ishkaran Bhandari, is a fantastic lawyer, get an anticipatory bail. But Mr. Kejriwal should reflect one thing. When he ran the fraud movement with Anna Hazare, and I know Anna Hazare very well personally, he went about calling everyone a thief. Everyone a thief. This was language used by Mr. Kejriwal. Now, the roosters have come home to croak, so as the saying goes. He has to face it. What he held as the standard for other people, why should it be different for him?